performance last week, so certainly not how we wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is when we find out what he has underneath that jersey, because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a two-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
Alert, alert! Alert, alert!
This is Coleman. Nifty move. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Lock in, lock in.
They'll throw on 1st down with Trubisky. Throw left side, complete to Ross. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
18, 18. Gotta go, gotta go.
On 2nd down, Trubisky. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Chandler Jones in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Lock in, lock in.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs? The end result was brute force on brute force, but think about everything that's going on if you're playing defensive tackle. You're dealing with at least one blocker across from you, trying to deal with him, shed him, and maybe even a second one before you have to try and make the tackle on the big guy.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. Quan Alexander. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now this is where field awareness comes into play. He's getting perilously close to his own goal line, and after that sack, backed up to his own 2. Here's Sam Martin now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. Nifty footwork at the 45. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week. You'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
Now Trubisky to throw on second. He'll leave it for Cohen, complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it third down.
Hey, gotta go, gotta go.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down. Now, I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. Here's Coleman. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
And they've got it here with a first down. Now it's Trubisky. On the screen, this is Coleman. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. And he's got it. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Eric Ebron, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants are in for 6. Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
Zuerlein out now to kick this one away. Returning it, Carlos Henderson. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. The tackle there by LaMarcus Joyner.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Handoff comes to Cook, and he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. The big nose tackle, Danny Shelton, there to swallow him up.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he finds Stills, complete. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before we get a good head of steam going.
And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A give. This is Cook. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad. Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he finds McDonald. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. And that'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another first down on the pickup of 5 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. It's caught, Stills, right side. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here's Roethlisberger. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Gotta go.
They begin the drive with Coleman, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, Those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Pass interference. Defense.
A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
18.
From midfield now, here's Trubisky. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Oh, complete right side to Cooks. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Move. Hey, gotta go.
Now Trubisky on first down. And Cooks has it over the middle. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards.
There we go. You see it? Red, up.
Trubisky will throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout. As they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky.
Gotta go.
Now Trubisky. Leaping, and he makes the grab. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And he didn't get it there. No, it's no good. Just shy of the crossbar. So we've reached halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the Giants out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find... Well, who needs a halftime? Am I right? Let's resume play. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. Jakeem Grant now to return. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation.
Brandon Cooks. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Brandon Cooks with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. Room to run inside the 40. The 30. 10. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs have made this a one-score game. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Here comes Grant on the return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Brandon Cooks and the rest of the offensive crew trotting back into place out there. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far, he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that, because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now, they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But, boy, he can explode at any moment.
Yeah, and when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Makes you hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way.
Move, move.
Now it's Trubisky. He's going to air one out. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
You see it? You see it?
They'll indeed go for it with Trubisky. He finds Coleman. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 27 yards, a big play there on 4th.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Ebron with it over the middle. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Trubisky now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
18. 18. Hey, gotta go.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Grant. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
This will be caught at about the 5. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On third down, it's Coleman. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Again, the offense will stay out there. They've converted once on this drive. What can they do here on 4th down?
Hey, gotta go.
They'll run it with Coleman. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And that will force a turnover on downs. And you wonder, Charles, could that decision come back to haunt them later?
And it really could, because in this situation, you kick the field goal in a tight game like this, that's a good play.
Yeah.
But maybe what he's saying to himself is, I'm just not a big proponent of the old idea that any possession that ends in a kick I'm happy with. He wanted to be really aggressive.
A little twist here in the third quarter. Going deep here for Stills. And got his man complete. And all the way down to the 40-yard line. It's a big play there for the Buccaneers. 55 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there. That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On second down, Roethlisberger. And Stills over the middle. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
They had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser-focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain.
Well, close game, second half. You obviously hate to leave 3 out on the field.
Especially in a game like this when you know points are hard to come by. That was one of their best opportunities so far, and they come away with nothing.
They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Brought in over the middle by Graham. That one goes for 24 yards. Trubisky now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Gotta go.
Coleman. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Good coverage that time by Malcolm Butler. How good has he been throwing the football, though? And despite that incompletion, that's just the 3rd time he's been off target this entire game.
And, Brandon, I've been on the other side of this equation, trying to defend a guy who's been this hot, and it chips away at your confidence. And when you're not confident when you're trying to defend, it makes you slower to the football, and it leads to more completions for them.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll run it now out of the gun. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
Right back to him on first down. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13.
You see it, you see it?
On 2nd down, Trubisky. But he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in the 2nd half. Instead, it's 3rd down. They're looking for a spark defensively. When he went for that ball, probably thought he had a chance at the pick. And remember, they had 2 last week in the win. Obviously losing here.
Well, you talked about looking for a spark, and the best sparks are when you make big plays for your team. And he had that opportunity there. Couldn't haul it in. But
and that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Mitchell Trubisky. And the Giants add on to their lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Zerline good with a PAT. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. On the return is Henderson. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive. Missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you know, you've put something out there. You've given yourself a chance. You're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. 2nd and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. On the left side, it's McDonald. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the play. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. And he hits his target, Deshaun Hamilton. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And he gets it down to the 32. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5.
Still 2nd down.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Bucs on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. To throw again is Roethlisberger. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half. It gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here. 2nd and 11. They'll toss it to Coleman. And he's got some space here.
Holding, offense.
So a decent gain, but
Still
all for
2nd
naught
down.
on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Looky here, Trubisky wants to throw it. And his throw is incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Trubisky to throw. It's complete to Grant. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Second and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. They will run again with Coleman. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. He'll get 2 yards back, but it's going to leave him with a long 3rd and 13.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. So here we go, Charles, 3rd down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
Gotta go.
And indeed, they will keep it on the ground. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. He's back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
18. Set up. 180. Red, up.
Oh, Trubisky going to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Now it's Trubisky. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.